The arrival. The sleek silver spacecraft hovered silently above the lush green field, its anti-gravity engines barely disturbing the tall grass below. Inside, xenoanthropologist Zix peered through the observation window, their four eyes blinking in rapid succession as they took in the verdant landscape of planet Earth. "Fascinating," Zix murmured, their tentacles rippling with excitement. After cycles of study, we finally witnessed the homeworld of the enigmatic humans. Behind Zix, the rest of the alien research team busied themselves with final preparations. Each member of the diverse crew hailed from a different corner of the galaxy, united in their quest to understand the peculiarities of human behavior. As the ship's ramp lowered, Zix took a deep breath of Earth's oxygen-rich atmosphere. "Remember," they addressed the team, "we are here to observe and learn. No direct contact unless absolutely necessary." The alien researchers spread out across the field, their advanced cloaking technology rendering them invisible to human eyes. Zix led the way, their sensory appendages twitching as they absorbed every detail of their surroundings. It wasn't long before they encountered their first humans. A small family was having a picnic in a nearby clearing. Zix and the team watched in fascination as the humans interacted, their mouths moving in strange patterns as they communicated. "Look at how they manipulate those tools to consume nutrients," one of the alien researchers noted, gesturing towards the humans using forks and knives. Zix was about to respond when something unexpected caught their attention. The young human child had picked up a piece of fruit, an apple, and was giggling uncontrollably. "Mommy, look," the child exclaimed. "This apple has a face." Zix froze, their tentacles coiling in confusion. A face? On a fruit? Impossible. Yet as they watched, the mother leaned in, examined the apple, and laughed as well. "You're right, sweetie. It does look like a grumpy old man, doesn't it?" The alien team exchanged baffled glances. How could these humans see a face where there clearly was none? Was this some form of mass hallucination? Or perhaps a shared delusion? As the day progressed, Zix and the team witnessed more instances of this peculiar behavior. Humans pointing out faces in clouds, in the knots of trees, even in the arrangement of pebbles on the ground. It seemed that wherever humans looked, they found faces staring back at them. "This is unprecedented," Zix communicated to the team via their neural link. "No other species we've encountered has demonstrated this level of pattern recognition, or misrecognition, as the case may be." The team spent hours documenting these observations, their confusion growing with each new instance. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the field, Zix made a decision. "We need to understand this phenomenon," they declared. "It could be key to unraveling the mysteries of human cognition and creativity." Just then, a gust of wind blew through the field, causing the tall grass to sway in a mesmerizing pattern. To the aliens' astonishment, a group of passing humans stopped to point and laugh. "Hey, check it out," one of them called out. "The grass looks like it's waving at us." Zix's tentacles twisted into knots. Waving grass. First faces in inanimate objects, and now this. The complexity of human perception was proving to be far greater than they had anticipated. As night fell and the humans retreated to their dwellings, the alien team regrouped at their ship. Zix paced back and forth, their mind racing with questions and theories. "We need to expand our research," they announced to the team. "This ability to see patterns and faces where none exist, it must be connected to their remarkable creativity and problem-solving skills. We've all heard the stories of human ingenuity in the face of adversity. Perhaps this is the source of their unique perspective." The other aliens nodded in agreement, equally intrigued by the day's discoveries. As they prepared for their next phase of research, none of them could have predicted how this seemingly innocuous trait would soon play a crucial role in the fate of both their species. Zix gazed up at the star-filled sky, their four eyes reflecting the twinkling lights above. "Tomorrow," they mused, "we delve deeper into the human mind. We must understand this face-seeing ability. For in it, we may find the key to unlocking the true potential of the human race, and perhaps in turn, discover new potentials within ourselves. As the alien ship hummed softly in the background, Zix couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of a discovery that would change the course of galactic history. Little did they know, the true test of human perception and creativity was yet to come, a test that would challenge not only the humans, but the alien researchers as well. The first day of their expedition had yielded more questions than answers, but one thing was certain: humans were far stranger, and potentially far more remarkable, than anyone in the galaxy had ever imagined. And it all began with their uncanny ability to see faces where no faces existed. As Zix retired to their quarters for the night, they found themselves staring at the patterns of light and shadow on the wall. For a moment, they could have sworn they saw a face smiling back at them. Zix quickly shook their head, dismissing the thought. Surely they weren't starting to see faces too, were they? The investigation. As the first rays of sunlight crept over the horizon, Zix and their team of alien researchers emerged from their cloaked ship, eager to delve deeper into the mystery of human pattern recognition. The events of the previous day had left them both perplexed and intrigued, sparking a fervent desire to understand this peculiar aspect of human perception. Today, we expand our observations, Zix announced to the team, their tentacles quivering with excitement. We must document every instance of this face-seeing phenomenon and attempt to discern its origins and purpose. The aliens spread out across the small town near their landing site, their advanced cloaking technology allowing them to observe humans up close without detection. As the day progressed, the researchers found themselves increasingly amazed and occasionally amused by the humans' propensity for finding faces and patterns in the most unexpected places. In a bustling cafe, Zix watched as a human stared intently at the foam on top of their coffee. "Look," the human exclaimed to their companion, "my latte is winking at me." The alien researcher's 4 eyes blinked rapidly in confusion. How could a beverage possess facial features, let alone the ability to wink? Elsewhere, another member of the alien team observed a group of children lying on their backs in a park, pointing excitedly at the clouds above. "That one looks like a dragon," one child shouted. "And there's a rabbit next to it," added another. The alien researcher tilted their head, trying to see what the children saw, but could only perceive amorphous masses of water vapor. As the day wore on, the instances of human pareidolia, the tendency to perceive familiar patterns in random stimuli, seemed endless. Faces in electrical outlets, animals in rock formations, even entire scenes depicted in the peeling paint of an old building. The alien team meticulously recorded each occurrence, their bewilderment growing with every observation. During a brief regroup at midday, Zix shared their thoughts with the team. It's as if their brains are constantly seeking to impose order on chaos, to find meaning in randomness. But why? What evolutionary advantage could this possibly provide? One of the alien researchers, a tall, spindly being named Vex, offered a theory. Perhaps it's a byproduct of their predator detection instincts. The ability to quickly recognize a face or a potential threat in their environment could have been crucial for their survival. Zix considered this, their tentacles curling thoughtfully. An interesting hypothesis, Vex. But that doesn't explain why they seem to derive such joy from these imaginary patterns. There's more to this than mere survival instinct. As the afternoon progressed, the alien team decided to conduct a more direct experiment. Using their advanced holographic technology, they projected a series of random patterns on various surfaces around the town: walls, sidewalks, even the sky itself. Then they waited to see how the humans would react. The results were both immediate and astonishing. Within minutes, humans were gathering to point out shapes and faces in the random projections. An elderly man insisted he saw his late wife smiling at him from a swirl of colors on a brick wall. A group of teenagers excitedly shared photos of what they claimed was a hidden message in the patterns projected onto a cloud. Zix was fascinated. Their minds seemed almost desperate to find meaning, to create order out of chaos. It's as if they can't help but storytell, even when there's no story to be told. As night fell, the alien team gathered once more to discuss their findings. The day's observations had left them with more questions than answers, but one thing was becoming increasingly clear. This unique perceptual ability of humans was deeply intertwined with their creativity and imagination. "I believe we're only scratching the surface," Six declared to the team. This face-seeing ability, this pareidolia, it's not just a quirk of human cognition. It's a window into their incredible capacity for abstract thought and innovation. Vex nodded in agreement. "Indeed. Today I observed a human artist creating a masterpiece inspired by the shape of a coffee stain on their notebook. From randomness, they extracted beauty and meaning. It's remarkable." As the alien researchers shared their observations, a picture began to emerge of a species whose minds were constantly active, always seeking patterns, connections, and meaning. This ceaseless mental activity seemed to be the wellspring of human creativity, driving them to see possibilities where others saw nothing. Zix's 4 eyes gleamed with excitement. "We need to go further. Tomorrow, we must find a way to engage more directly with the humans, to truly understand how this perceptual ability influences their problem-solving skills and technological advancements." Little did Zix know that their chance to witness human creativity in action would come sooner than expected, and under far more dire circumstances than they could have imagined. As the alien team retired to their ship for the night, a faint anomaly appeared on their long-range scanners. At first, it seemed like nothing more than background radiation, a common occurrence in the vastness of space. But as the night wore on, the anomaly grew stronger, its pattern becoming more distinct. Zix, unable to sleep, found themselves staring at the readout, their tentacles twitching nervously. For a moment, they could have sworn they saw a pattern in the chaos of the signal, a pattern that looked disturbingly like a face with an expression that sent a chill through their alien form. Shaking their head, Zix dismissed the thought. Surely they weren't starting to see faces like the humans, were they? And yet, as they tried to return to their rest cycle, they couldn't shake the feeling that something ominous was approaching, something that would put humanity's unique perceptual abilities to the ultimate test. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Zix made a decision. Tomorrow, they would need to break protocol and make contact with the humans, for in the random noise of that distant signal, they had seen something that filled them with both fear and awe, a glimpse of a threat that only the pattern-seeking minds of humans might be able to unravel. The investigation into human perception had taken an unexpected turn. Now, it seemed, the fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy itself, might hinge on humanity's peculiar ability to see faces in the chaos of the cosmos. The crisis. The early morning sun had barely crested the horizon when Zix called an emergency meeting aboard the cloaked alien ship. The atmosphere was tense as the synanthropologists shared the unsettling discovery from the previous night. "Colleagues," Zix began, their tentacles twisting anxiously, "I believe we have stumbled upon a crisis that threatens not only our mission, but potentially the entire planet we've come to study." The alien team gathered around a holographic display as Zix pulled up the anomalous signal detected during the night. To most of the aliens, it appeared as nothing more than a chaotic swirl of data points and energy signatures. But to Zix, who had spent the night analyzing it, something more sinister lurked within the noise. "At first, I thought I was succumbing to the same pareidolia we've observed in humans," Zix explained. "But after running multiple analyses, I'm certain there's a pattern here, a pattern that suggests an impending cosmic event of catastrophic proportions." The team listened intently as Zix outlined their findings. The signal, when processed through their advanced algorithms, revealed a massive object hurtling through space on a collision course with Earth. Its composition was unlike anything in their extensive galactic databases. "If my calculations are correct," Zix continued, their voice grave, "this object will impact Earth in approximately 72 Earth hours. The resulting collision would be Extinction level. A heavy silence fell over the alien crew. Their mission of peaceful observation had suddenly transformed into a potential rescue operation for an entire planet. But the ethical implications were staggering. Vex, the spindly alien who had theorized about human pattern recognition the day before, spoke up. "We can't simply reveal ourselves to prevent this catastrophe. The shock to human society could be equally devastating." Zix nodded solemnly. "Agreed. Which is why I propose something unprecedented. We need to find a way to alert the humans to this threat without directly intervening, and I believe their unique perceptual abilities might be the key." The plan Zix proposed was audacious. Using their advanced holographic technology, they would project subtle patterns across the globe. Patterns that, to their alien eyes, clearly depicted the approaching threat. But to human eyes, they would appear as nothing more than quirks of light and shadow, unusual cloud formations, or strange reflections. "If our observations are correct," Zix explained, "the humans' pattern-seeking minds should pick up on these projections. They might not immediately understand what they're seeing, but it should be enough to direct their attention skyward." The team worked tirelessly to implement Zix's plan. Within hours, reports began flooding in from around the globe of strange sightings. Social media buzzed with images of what people claimed were faces in the sky, ominous shapes in cloud formations, and eerie patterns in cityscapes. From their cloaked ship, the aliens watched and waited, hoping that humanity's scientific community would pick up on the true nature of these phenomena before it was too late. As the second day dawned, Zix and their team monitored human communications with growing anxiety. While the strange sightings had certainly captured public attention, there was no sign that anyone had pieced together the true message hidden within the patterns. "Perhaps we underestimated the complexity of the message," Vex suggested, their elongated fingers dancing over a control panel. The humans seem more interested in debating whether these sightings are a viral marketing campaign or evidence of supernatural activity. Zix's tentacles coiled tightly in frustration. "We need to make the patterns more obvious, more directed. Focus our projections on scientific installations, observatories, universities, space agencies." As the alien team refined their approach, something unexpected began to happen. A small group of amateur astronomers, intrigued by the global phenomenon, had begun comparing notes online. One of them, a young woman named Dr. Samantha Chen, posted a theory that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. "These patterns aren't random," her viral post read. "They're a warning. I've analyzed the recurring motifs in these sightings, and they all point to a single region of space. Something's coming, and we need to look there now." Zix's four eyes widened as they read the translation of Dr. Chen's post. "Remarkable," they whispered. "She saw it. She actually saw it." Within hours, major observatories around the world had redirected their telescopes to the coordinates Dr. Chen had calculated. The alien team watched with a mixture of relief and trepidation as humanity finally became aware of the looming threat. But their relief was short-lived. As the nature of the approaching object became clear, panic began to spread. World leaders convened emergency meetings, scientists worked around the clock to develop a plan, and the general public vacillated between denial and hysteria. With less than 24 hours remaining before impact, Zix made a difficult decision. "We need to do more," they announced to the team. "The humans are aware of the threat now, but they lack the technology to address it. We must find a way to assist them without revealing ourselves fully." As the alien team debated their next move, they noticed something extraordinary happening on the planet below. Instead of succumbing to panic, countless humans were rallying together, offering their skills and resources in a global effort to confront the cosmic threat. Scientists shared data freely across borders. Engineers repurposed satellites for observation and potential defense, and an unprecedented wave of creative problem-solving swept across the planet. It was as if the entire human race had become a single unified force in the face of extinction. Zix watched in awe as the humans' pattern recognition abilities, so often applied to seeing faces in inanimate objects, now turned toward deciphering the nature of the approaching celestial body. Theories were proposed, tested, and refined at an astonishing pace. "Their minds truly are remarkable," Vex noted, a hint of admiration in their voice. "They're piecing together the puzzle faster than we anticipated." But as the final hours ticked away, it became clear that human ingenuity alone might not be enough. The approaching object, now visible to the naked eye as a growing spot in the night sky, seemed impervious to all conventional methods of deflection or destruction. As dawn broke on what could be humanity's final day, Zix knew they had reached a critical juncture. The time had come to bridge the gap between two species, to combine alien technology with human creativity in a desperate bid to save Earth. "Prepare for first contact," Zix announced, their voice resolute. "We're going to need humanity's help as much as they need ours." As the alien ship decloaked above a stunned United Nations emergency session, Zix couldn't help but wonder. Would the humans see them as saviors, or would their appearance only add to the chaos? And more importantly, would the combined efforts of two vastly different species be enough to avert catastrophe? The crisis had reached its tipping point, and the next few hours would determine not just the fate of Earth, but the future of interstellar relations for millennia to come. The collaboration. The appearance of the alien ship over the United Nations headquarters in New York sent shockwaves around the world. For a moment, it seemed as if time itself had stopped. World leaders, scientists, and citizens alike stared in disbelief at the sleek, otherworldly craft hovering silently above the iconic building. Zix, standing at the ship's command center, took a deep breath. "Initiate first contact protocols," they ordered, their tentacles trembling slightly with a mix of anticipation and nervousness. A shimmering beam of light erupted from the bottom of the ship, and Zix, along with Vex and two other alien researchers, was gently lowered to the ground. As they touched down on the manicured lawn of the UN complex, they found themselves face to face with a hastily assembled welcoming committee of world leaders, military personnel, and scientific advisors. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, Dr. Samantha Chen, the astronomer who had first deciphered the warning in the strange patterns, stepped forward. "We saw your message," she said, her voice steady despite the extraordinary circumstances. "You're here to help us, aren't you?" Zix's four eyes blinked in rapid succession, impressed by the human's intuition. "Yes," they replied, their words translated by an advanced device. "We are xenoanthropologists who came to study your species, but now we face a common threat that requires our combined efforts to overcome." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. As news of the alien arrival spread, initial panic gave way to a surge of hope. The aliens were quickly ushered into a secure facility where they could work alongside Earth's top scientists and strategists. Zix and their team wasted no time in sharing their advanced knowledge of the approaching celestial object. "It's unlike anything we've encountered before," Zix explained, projecting a holographic model of the threat. "It appears to be a form of semi-organic matter capable of absorbing energy and growing in size. Conventional weapons or deflection methods will only make it stronger." The human scientists listened intently, their minds racing to integrate this new information with their own theories and observations. Dr. Chen, who had quickly become the de facto liaison between the two species, posed a crucial question. "If we can't destroy it or deflect it, how do we stop it?" Vex stepped forward, their spindly form towering over the humans. "We believe the solution lies in destabilizing its internal structure. But to do that, we need to understand its core composition. Our sensors can only tell us so much." It was at this moment that humanity's unique perceptual abilities came into play once again. A young physicist, Dr. James Okoye, had been staring intently at the holographic model. "Wait a minute," he said, his eyes widening. "The pattern of energy distribution. It looks like a neural network, almost like a brain." The room fell silent as everyone turned to look at the model. To the aliens, it appeared as a complex, but ultimately random distribution of energy. But as the human scientists gathered around, Murmurs of agreement began to spread. "He's right," Dr. Chen exclaimed. "It's not just absorbing energy, it's processing it. Look at these pathways, these nodes. It's thinking." Zix and their team were astounded. In a matter of minutes, the humans had perceived a pattern that had eluded their advanced analytical systems. This insight changed everything. "If it's thinking," Zix mused, their tentacles curling in concentration, "then perhaps we can communicate with it. Or better yet, confuse it." What followed was an unprecedented collaboration between human and alien minds. The humans' ability to see patterns and draw creative connections perfectly complemented the aliens' advanced technology and scientific knowledge. Teams worked around the clock, developing a plan to broadcast a complex series of signals toward the approaching entity. These signals, based on the neural-like patterns observed in its structure, were designed to introduce conflicting information and disrupt its thought processes. As the hours ticked by, the celestial object loomed ever larger in the sky. News channels around the world provided constant updates, showing the strange, shifting mass that threatened all life on Earth. But alongside the fear, a new sentiment began to emerge: determination. Humanity, it seemed, had found new strength in the face of this cosmic threat. People from all walks of life volunteered their skills and resources. Linguists worked alongside physicists to refine the disruptive signals. Artists and musicians collaborated with mathematicians to create visual and auditory patterns that might resonate with the entity's strange consciousness. Zix watched in awe as humans tapped into their pattern recognition abilities in ways the aliens had never imagined possible. "Their minds truly are remarkable," they commented to Vex. "They're not just seeing faces in clouds anymore. They're seeing the face of the universe itself." As the final hours approached, a global network of communication arrays, hastily modified with alien technology, stood ready. The plan was risky. If it failed, there would be no time for a second attempt. But it was the best hope for both humanity and their new alien allies. With less than an hour to spare, the signal was launched. Powerful beams of energy, carrying within them the combined creativity and intelligence of two species, streaked across space toward the approaching threat. For several agonizing minutes, nothing seemed to happen. The entity continued its inexorable approach, growing larger with each passing second. Then, almost imperceptibly at first, it began to change. "Look," Dr. Chen shouted, pointing at the monitors. "The energy distribution is shifting." Indeed, the strange neural-like patterns within the entity were beginning to fluctuate wildly. Its shape, once smoothly spherical, started to distort and twist. Zix's 4 eyes were wide with excitement. "It's working. The disruptive signals are destabilizing its cognitive processes." As the world watched with bated breath, the celestial threat that had seemed unstoppable began to falter. Its approach slowed, then stopped altogether. The massive form shuddered, as if in confusion or pain. And then, in a spectacular display that lit up the sky brighter than any fireworks, the entity began to break apart. Fragments of its semi-organic matter scattered harmlessly into space, burning up in Earth's atmosphere like a meteor shower. A moment of stunned silence fell over the command center. Then, as the realization of what had just happened sank in, cheers erupted. Humans and aliens alike embraced, overcome with relief and joy. As the celebration spread across the globe, Zix turned to Dr. Chen and Dr. Okoy, their tentacles extended in a gesture of respect. "Your species truly is remarkable," they said. "Your ability to see patterns, to find meaning in chaos. It saved not just your world, but taught us a valuable lesson as well." Dr. Chen smiled, tears of joy in her eyes. "And your willingness to reach out, to trust us with your knowledge, made all the difference. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship between our peoples." As the sun rose on a new day, Earth found itself not only saved from destruction, but standing on the threshold of a new era. The collaboration between humans and aliens had opened up possibilities neither species had imagined possible. But even as plans for cultural exchange and technological cooperation were being discussed, Zix couldn't help but wonder what other wonders and challenges awaited them in the vast, pattern-filled cosmos. And how would humanity's unique perceptual abilities shape the future of interstellar relations? The crisis had been averted, but the adventure, it seemed, was just beginning. The resolution. In the weeks following the averted catastrophe, Earth buzzed with an energy unlike anything in recorded history. The presence of alien visitors, once the stuff of science fiction, had become a thrilling reality. Humanity found itself stepping into a new era of interstellar relations, with Zix and their team at the center of this momentous transition. As the initial excitement settled, the true work began. The United Nations, in cooperation with representatives from every nation, established the Global Extraterrestrial Cooperation Initiative, GECI. This new organization was tasked with managing Earth's interactions with their alien visitors and preparing humanity for its new role in the galactic community. Zix, who had initially come to Earth as a xenoanthropologist, now found themselves in the position of ambassador. Their quarters aboard the alien ship had been transformed into a hub of cultural exchange, with a constant stream of human scientists, leaders, and thinkers coming to share ideas and learn. "I never imagined our research mission would lead to this," Zix confided to Dr. Chen during one of their frequent meetings. "We came to study your species, and instead, we've become students ourselves." Dr. Chen smiled, her eyes twinkling with the excitement of new discovery. "That's the beauty of cultural exchange, isn't it? We all have something to learn from each other." Indeed, the collaboration between humans and aliens had already yielded remarkable results. The integration of alien technology with human intuition and creativity was pushing the boundaries of scientific understanding at an unprecedented pace. In laboratories around the world, human scientists worked alongside alien researchers, combining their unique perspectives to tackle some of the universe's greatest mysteries. The human ability to see patterns and make intuitive leaps, once dismissed by some as mere pareidolia, was proving to be an invaluable asset in deciphering complex cosmic phenomena. Perhaps the most significant breakthrough came in the field of communication. Inspired by humanity's knack for finding meaning in seemingly random patterns, a team led by Dr. Okoi developed a new form of universal translator. This device didn't just convert words from one language to another. It interpreted the underlying patterns of thought, allowing for deep, nuanced understanding between vastly different species. "It's like we've unlocked a new sense," Dr. Okoi explained during a global conference. "We're not just hearing words, we're seeing the very shape of ideas." As remarkable as these scientific advancements were, the social and cultural impacts of the alien presence were equally profound. Art galleries around the world showcased exhibitions that blended human and alien aesthetics. Musicians collaborated with alien composers, creating harmonies that resonated across species boundaries. Even in the realm of cuisine, adventurous chefs were experimenting with alien flavors, creating dishes that challenged and delighted human palates. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. As with any major paradigm shift, there were those who resisted the changes. Some feared the rapid advancements in technology would leave much of humanity behind. Others worried about the potential for cultural erosion as Earth became more integrated with the galactic community. Addressing these concerns became a key focus for both human leaders and their alien counterparts. Zix, drawing on their xenoanthropological expertise, worked tirelessly to ensure that the exchange of knowledge and culture remained balanced and respectful. "We must remember," Zix often said in their public addresses, "that it is your uniquely human perspective that made this alliance possible. We do not seek to change who you are, but to help you realize your full potential as a species." As months passed, the initial fear and awe of the alien presence began to give way to a sense of normalcy. School children learned about alien biology alongside Earth sciences. Universities offered courses in xenolinguistics and interstellar diplomacy. The night sky, once a distant realm of mystery, now held the promise of new frontiers and undiscovered wonders. 1 year after the crisis that had brought humans and aliens together, a special ceremony was held at the United Nations headquarters. Representatives from Earth and a delegation of alien species gathered to officially welcome humanity into the galactic community. As Zix stood on the podium, their 4 eyes scanning the diverse crowd before them, they felt a profound sense of awe. A year ago, they began, their words translated seamlessly for all to understand. We came to your world seeking knowledge. We found not only knowledge but also friendship, creativity, and a new perspective on the universe itself. The xenopropologist paused, their tentacles moving in a gesture of deep respect. Humans have a saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We've learned that this applies not just to aesthetics, but to the very fabric of reality. Your ability to see patterns, to find meaning in the chaos of the cosmos, has opened our eyes to new possibilities. As Zix spoke, holographic displays around the auditorium showcased the achievements of the past year. New technologies, artistic collaborations, and scientific breakthroughs that had emerged from the human-alien partnership. Today, we do not merely welcome Earth to the galactic community. Zix continued, their voice filled with emotion. We celebrate the unique gifts that humanity brings to our shared universe. Your creativity, your resilience, your unending curiosity. These are the qualities that will help us all face the challenges and wonders that await us among the stars. The ceremony concluded with a spectacular display of lights in the night sky, a collaboration between human artists and alien technologists. As people around the world looked up, many saw not just twinkling stars and shimmering auroras, but faces, animals, and fantastical shapes dancing across the heavens. Zix, standing beside Dr. Chen and Dr. Okoye, marveled at the human reactions. Even now, after all you've seen and learned, you still find faces in the lights, they observed, a note of wonder in their voice. Dr. Chen laughed softly. Of course we do. It's who we are. We'll always be looking for patterns, for meaning, for connections. It's what makes us human. Dr. Okoye nodded in agreement. And now we have an entire galaxy of patterns to explore. Just think of the faces we'll see out there. As the celebration continued into the night, Zix reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment. What had begun as a simple research mission had transformed into something far greater, a union of two species that promised to reshape the very future of the cosmos. The crisis that had threatened to end humanity had instead launched it into a new age of discovery and cooperation. And at the heart of it all was the uniquely human gift of seeing faces in the chaos, a trait that had once seemed strange, even to a human, but now stood as a testament to the boundless potential of the human mind. As Zix looked up at the star-filled sky, they couldn't help but wonder, what new patterns, what undiscovered faces, what untold wonders awaited them all in the vast expanse of the universe. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they knew that the combined strengths of humanity and their alien allies would be more than equal to the task. The future, like a friendly face emerging from the cosmic backdrop, smiled upon them all. And in that moment, Zix understood that their greatest discoveries were yet to come.